right, y'all, what's up? It's Erica, and we're doing let's talk about it video. Um, just in time for Mother's Day. This subject has just weighed so heavily on my soul for so many years, and I'm not the only one, and it's really such a problem in society, the way that people devalue mothers, women in general. Um, you know, if you think about it enough, it really, really can hurt your heart. And, you know, as much as I try to get through my days, the grief of being devalued, it's like it just sometimes gets so much that it's kind of unbearable to even move or get out of bed, honestly. And it's like let's just go into the baby daddy baby mama culture here, right? Where it's like men just feel that they can dump in you and continue to do whatever. And it's like the mother, the baby mama, is just getting tossed aside, like I see it all the time on the internet, you know what I mean? Like I see this even like when the new female comes in, it's like now before you kind of awaken to a lot of this stuff, I feel that men are so persuasive and have such an ability to kind of like dickmatize a female that they kind of go along with whatever the guy says. But nowadays, it's like, I've been around the block a time or two, and I got balloons everywhere. So at this point, I am always obviously single. I'm always on the lookout for a man who talks shit about his baby mama or his ex. And I noticed that like in this culture, it's like so many females be like, oh, you ain't shit, you're just the baby mama, and it's like, kids are growing up witnessing their mothers being devalued. And it's almost like it's so normalized that nobody even really thinks about it. There's still some of us that do, though, you know what I mean? But it's just a whole thing, and it's not the way it was supposed to be. Women are made to be revered. We're made to be honored. Carrying and birthing and raising a child for someone is supposed to be such a sacred, honorable thing, and it's such a miserable life when it's not that way. And it's not even that you can pinpoint one thing about it. It's not even that you can say, oh, I'm struggling financially, because it's so much deeper than somebody throwing money at the situation. it's the genuine care. It's the genuine honor that single moms and some moms that are even with an asshole guy, they're not getting it. And it's sad. I mean, it is a really, really shitty thing in society that this is continuing. There's not a lot of good examples. I can't really think of more than like maybe one or two examples of seeing a good man. And these are far away examples. You know, these are just examples that I get to see in passing. I don't know what the rest of their life is like, but, you know, when I see a man who can open a door, who's like taking care of their family, you know, it's every once in a while on Facebook I'll see something, but, you know, I've never grown up with such a good example to see how a man could properly cherish a woman. And it's so sad to me that my kids have never had that example. And in fact, what's even worse than having no example at all is having a bad example. And I have to live through this every day of my kids having a bad example. And it really shapes how they act towards me. Let me give you a little story time. Yesterday, there was a school thing for the kids to go to Fun and Stuff, which is like a fun place for kids. You know, there's go-karts, there's bungee jumping, there's roller skating, there's games, there's little roller coaster, bumper cars, like etc. There's so much stuff. And I took my 3 younger kids as a single mom. You know, it's hard for me to do these things as a single mom, but I've never let that stop me. Most of the time, I mean, there's some things I can't handle alone just for simple safety measures. But it's like, I want my kids to be able to do fun things. And so I have always taken them to fairs, to, you know, county things or school things. And my one youngest one, he was just like so pissy, and like it was like I kept seeing this one worker there, and you know, he was like, I know he noticed me, and I know he noticed that my son was like, as he usually is, even here, he's very rude to me, says a lot of mean things. I do believe he's on the PDA spectrum of autism, which explains some of this, but I think others of it is quite simply just seeing the way his dad devalues me, and that being his example. And it was like 3 different times. This is like, we were there for 4.5 hours. I mean, they were having a good time for the most part. Like I said, the little one was getting real pissy with me, on and off. And it was like, damn, like, you know, my eyes are trying to be everywhere. I want to be able to make sure I can watch all 3 of my kids. I want to make sure they're having fun. And you know, when it got to the point we were in line at the bungee thing, this guy was like, the guy running it, and he's like, may I talk to him? I'm like, yeah, sure, you know. And I kind of overheard a little bit what he was saying, but he got down at his level, and he was saying, you know, it's like, your mom is like here, she wants you, you know, she's trying to do something nice, and like, you know, she wants you to have fun, and you know, anyways, at the end of their little conversation, he came over and gave me a quick hug and was like, "Thanks for bringing us here." And I could tell he was feeling a little forced to do it, but it was like, sometimes they just need a man to kind of tell them, "Hey, appreciate your mom, and I don't need to be princess praised every day by my kids or anything, but, normal appreciation or love would be preferable." Like, I even see this in my daughter's friends. Like, I'll go to her school when I can and, volunteer to do the school party, or, you know, people see me every single day. I pick these kids up from school every single day. So I'm out there, and over the course of the year, I'm there bringing the kids to do the things. I'm showing up at dances. I'm volunteering when I can. I'm standing on the playground watching kids, you know. So, like, some of my daughter's friends have gotten to know me, that I'm, like, don't know me, no, but, they know I'm a mom and they know I'm around. And, everyone's always like, "Oh, Izzy, your mom's so nice," or "Your mom's so pretty." And, like, her friends will, like, run up to me if they see me standing there waiting to pick my daughter up, and, like, they'll run up to me and give me a big hug. And it's like, I wish my own kids would be like that, Like, I'll pick my little guy up from school and he'll run to me, and I'll be like having my arms out, and he'll kind of like, get off, get away from me, get off me. Like, what? Hold on, this lawnmower. Don't people care about No Mo May? Anyway, it's like other stuff like that I just can't stand. Like when my kids will tell me to shut up. Like, I hate that. It's like, do you think I want to sit here and talk? No. Like, I'm reminding you to do things. Like, hey, it's time to get your shower. Let's set out your clothes for the next day. And I don't know, there's my one kid that needs that. You know what I mean? He needs to have his outfit set out. The other ones, they're cool. They can get up, go to the room, pick whatever. They're fine. But these kids get so mouthy with me, and it's like to the point where I used to get emotionally engaged before I was healed or healing. It would become a battle. It would become like a battle of, I want them to do this, they're not going to do it, and I'm sitting here, I'm nice, asking nice, gentle parenting, gentle, but it doesn't do shit. And then I'm like, listen, get in the fucking shower. Like, and then, "Oh, why do you yell at us?" Shut up. Or like my one will be like, "Shut up." Like, he'll say it real quick, like, "Hey," like when you get home from school, "Hey, what snack do you want?" Or like, "Shut up." Like, you want to go straight to his phone. It's like, I'm sick of that. Like, I'm being kind to you. I'm saying hello. I'm greeting you. I'm offering you a snack. Like, and I can't get a hello, a hug, a "Hey, mom." Like, they act like it's so bad or something. And I'm like, what the hell? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I made pancakes, which is not an unusual thing. I'll make pancakes usually anytime they're home. Really, that's what they want to eat on the weekends. And so if I have them, I'm usually making pancakes or waffles. Or if they have a day off of school, I'm making pancakes. It's what they want to eat. They don't like oatmeal. That's what I make for myself. Um, but it's like, it's always a critique, it's always a criticism. And it's like, first of all, I'm not even a morning person. I'm up in the morning and I start making these pancakes before I even have a drink of my tea, before I even get to eat, before I'm even awake. My brain is not even functioning. And I'm sitting here standing on a hard floor, like doing the shit. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm just quietly doing the thing, getting it ready, cooking. And it's like, I'm like, okay, guys, here, come grab your pancakes. And then what do I hear? Complaining about the shape, about the size. And like, I switch it up, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I make medium size and then sometimes I'll make little ones. Like, it's just whatever. I don't know. I don't know, but like, for someone to like be so pissy about it, it's like, so you're getting a warm meal cooked for you lovingly, and like, I'm getting shit for this? It's like I'm punishing myself. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, um but it's like, okay, this does not happen in homes where there's a proper man. It just doesn't happen. I see examples. Like, I go to enough events where usually I'm the only single mom. There is one other single mom, and her kids are kind of out of control, like mine are, which actually our kids are friends, and we were kind of like, yeah, damn, like, looks, thank God I'm not the only one with a kid acting like, like the two younger ones, they're out of control pretty much. But like, I have seen plenty of examples of how kids are like nice to their mom, or that they love their mom. Like, I was watching it at Fun and Stuff yesterday, like a kid no bigger than any of my own kids, like, goes over to his grandma and gives her a hug, and it's like, I have 4 baby daddies, and each one of them is just completely abusive in their own way. Every time I met one of these new guys, I had kind of had hopes of things. The video is not long enough to go into depth with a lot of this, but a couple of them had forced themselves onto me, and one of them I was very much in love with, and I took a choice to, unprotected, and I would have never known. Well, looking back, I should have seen the red flags, but I didn't know what red flags were, but it's such a disservice to society as a whole for these individual situations to keep going on. It really is. And I see it all the time, like men who just don't want to step up, and it's like, it just is sickening. Honestly, it's just so gross, and people have gotten way too used to this. Like, it's not normal. It's not okay. It shouldn't be normalized. It shouldn't be normalized to treat your child's mother like garbage. You know, it shouldn't be a thing, but it is. I asked my ex to trim my grass. Now, I participate in No Mow May, so I do not want my lawn mowed, but there's just like right around the driveway a pretty high tuffet of like just grass. There's no flowers growing there, there's no dandelions, it's just grass. And I'm like, let's just, I wanted to trim that up, and I was like, can you just trim the edges? He's like, no, I'll be there to pick up my kid. Like, and I live in a neighborhood where there's like married couples, and it's always the dad out there doing the yard work. It's always the dad taking the trash out. It's always the dad like playing the ball with the kids. You know what I mean? And like, I see this stuff around me, but I'm getting treated like fucking garbage, and it's really shitty. And so most of the time I just don't even ask anything, but it's like, it's really unfair because I need my car worked on. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, who's supposed to do that? They think I'm just supposed to go find someone who wants to come and play the dad role. And it's like, look, I've given up my life, my years, I've given up everything to like raise these kids that I already have with you. I don't let strangers come over here. And I've let a couple boyfriends that I did like a lot come over, but it was like after I had already known them for like 3 to 6 months, and I felt that it was safe for them to come on over here, like there wasn't going to be issues. You know what I mean? I don't want random people. I don't want weird random people to come over and help me with things. I don't feel that is a safe choice. Of course, I want to meet new people, and if I do meet new people organically, and it turns into something that turns into some kind of a friendship or more, and they say, "Oh yeah, I'm happy to help." Okay, cool. And I've had that happen a couple times where I've trusted the person and they came over, but it wasn't like anything ongoing. You know what I mean? And it's like, I just don't want to live where I'm so undervalued, and not just undervalued, like straight out treated like fucking garbage. And it sucks. Both of my exes, well, I would say, don't even want to say exes. I want to say like, abusers is what they were. Like I have some balloons down here. I got the older set kind of out of the way, but I still have these younger kids, and I'm still dealing with their dads, like for pickup and drop off, and that's basically it. We don't really have any dealings outside of that. Sometimes, but not really. I will give them a piece of my mind because everything's just fine for them. Just going along, everything's fine. They both have, like, literally not brand new cars, but like within 3 years old of a car. I drive a vehicle that's 20 years old that has neither heat nor air conditioning. There's stuff that it needs. That's fine. That's my choice. But it's not really. If I actually had my choice, I would have had kids with a man who wanted to take good care of me, wanted to love me, wanted to give me a family experience. And I guess as Mother's Day is coming up, it's just so much grief for the fact that there will never be a family experience, there's no vacation. There's no family vacation. And aside from those monumental things that most people get to look forward to every year, there's no sitting in the backyard watching the kids run around. There's no arms around me when I'm cooking dinner. There's no back rubs. There's no sitting together on the couch, cuddling with the kids, watching movies. There's no one to talk to. There's no one. There's no one and there's nothing. There's no zoo trips. There's no one I can rely on. And there's no one ever telling me anything nice. You know, I know that I'm a pretty good mom. You know, like I'm sure that somebody who's not like buried in grief and depression can be a little bit more happier for the kids, but I do the right things. I've always done the right things. You know, I've kept them innocent. I've kept them away from danger. I have kept them away from situations that they don't need to be in. I've encouraged reading. You know, I tell them I love them. I do my best to make sure they eat pretty decently, which is very hard in this society. So, yeah, we do a lot of frozen pizzas and, you know, it's just, there's so many, like, horrible people out there who really hurt their kids and who really neglect their kids, and I'm not one of them. Like, I always put my kids' happiness first. Like, I want them to have good experiences. I'm always like, hey, let's go to the park. You know, I take them for their outings. And I get treated, especially by my one ex, my youngest dad. He'll be like, oh, well, you're nothing but a big sister. You barely do anything. I have the kids just as much as you do. Which isn't even true because I think I have my kids about 75% of the time when they're not at school. And like he sometimes takes them every other weekend, sometimes a couple weekends in a row. But it's like, would a big sister like nurse her baby for 4 years? Would a big sister like change every single diaper? Like, neither one of them changed diapers. Neither one of them actually did shit with the parenting or partnership until I had to just get so fed up to leave the horrible situation. Oh, now you want to stand up and be a dad because I left, because I had to leave? That you couldn't be a dad when we were together? You couldn't support me when we were together? Like, you couldn't like allow me the hour to maybe take a bath or unwind, but you'll take your kid for 3 days on end because you're separated from me? Like, you couldn't take your kid for a half an hour for me to have a shower without worrying, but you'll take them for days on end as long as it means separation of our family. Like, really just mind fuck things that hurt so bad. Like, the only thing I've really wanted was connection. I wanted a connection. I wanted to be important. I wanted to belong. I wanted to like be cared for. And that has never got to be an experience that I've got to enjoy. And it's such a painful feeling to live out every day knowing that there's just no one. There's just no one. And it's like some of these moms are just buried under doing everything. And I was one of them too, because my first two exes, there was never any child support. There was never any visitation. They never saw the kids. And there's issues from that, There's some issues from that. And it's just not fair. It just sucks. But I know there's like so many moms going through this where these men like don't even want to like so what? Like if the mother of your child who's driving your kid back and forth to school every day, like she needs you to fix the brakes on her car or something, and it's like, why are you dogging the woman who has your kid? Like, being a mom is supposed to be such a special, beautiful thing, and like society has turned it into like we're just dogs, like fucking expendable trash dogs. Like, my body will never be the same. And you see, there's women there, they have these good husbands, and these men are like grabbing on their thighs and grabbing on them and giving them massages and saying, they love them, they love every part of them. And it's like, I never got any of that. Like, after I had the kid, they'll tell me, oh, I'm fat, or like, oh, I'm just washed up, or like anything that's derogatory, instead of honoring the woman's body. It's really sick. And I really believe that my youngest dad like really wants me to kill myself. I believe that like he thinks that if he can like emotionally abuse me and neglect me enough, that it'll be like my only option. And I mean, I've thought about it, and I felt like sometimes that's my only option, but I don't know. It's like I just don't understand what his point is. Like, what are you getting from hurting the mother of your child? Like, do you not understand that like this is the woman who's taking care of your kid? Like, my son has only seen me really crying from his dad hurting my feelings, and it's like, is this the example that he's getting? He thinks it's like okay to be mean. And I mean, he says mean things to me that like something, a grown man would say to somebody. And it's like this kid shouldn't even be saying stuff like, oh mom, you could do this or that, like but you're lazy or something. And it's like, and he'll literally say that to me while I'm standing at the sink doing dishes. And it's like he's heard his dad yell at me, saying stuff like, oh, you can't do this because you're lazy or whatever. And it has nothing to do with being lazy. It has to do with like, stop expecting me to be masculine. Stop trying to force me into the masculine role. I've had to play that for long enough. Like, they're ruining women. They're trying to do away with women. And this whole thing, like, and this doesn't even have to do with like individual situations, this is now touching base on like society. Like, they're trying to do away with calling mothers mothers. They're doing away with calling women women, and they want to say birthing person, or um, they're they're trying to hold women down because they know that if we're in our true divine feminine essence, we're unstoppable, we're powerful. But women can't thrive and be in their beautiful feminine essence when they are forced into their masculine hustle and survival mode. And so you take away the structure of a family, you take away that strong man who leads, who loves, who guides, who protects. You remove that out of the family structure, and you're leaving women who are having to step up and do this role and do this all that she can't really do. You know, we weren't meant to be the providers, the protectors. We weren't meant to do this stuff, but so many have to be forced into it. And what it does is it throws us into masculine energy, gets us out of our feminine energy. We're miserable doing that. Like, and we can't flourish and thrive and create and be that beautiful energy that these men want. Like, men claim they want us in our feminine energy. They want a feminine woman, but they don't step up into their masculine to take that burden from the females so that they can rest easily and safely in the feminine energy. The biggest thing about feminine energy is it needs to be safe. It needs to be safe for the feminine energy to come out. Because how many of us have been that adoring feminine lover, you know, that ride or die, give your all to someone, only for them to just literally hurt you? Like, this is a problem in society. It really is. And it's just sad, you know? And I think it's just so many people really think it's normal, and it shouldn't be normal. Like, the bar is so low, and it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. There are good men out there. There are real masculine men out there who do provide and protect their women and their children, who take pride in, you know, building their home. They have values. They want their family happy. They want their family healthy. And it's almost like I look back at some of the relationships I've been in where it's so easy to see what the obvious fix could be for some issues, but they're just so unwilling. It's like you could do these minor little adjustments here and you could have a happy family. Like, we could have a happy relationship. Like, I never wanted to split up from my youngest son. I never wanted that. I wanted to be with him forever. I wanted it hits hard, you know. And he knew everything I went through, and it was like he still chose to hurt me in the worst ways. And it's like, this is why women are leaving these men and being single. We cannot continue to take abuse. We cannot continue to live in a household where there's no love. Like, yeah, I am completely deprived of all of my needs. I am usually sad and lonely, miserable even. I try my best to keep my spirits up, but I had to pick that. I had to pick that to not be abused. So it's like there was not a good option there. It was like be abused, endure somebody's rage, or be completely lonely and be neglected of everything you need. Like, those are two very shitty options. And so many women, they have to stay to be in the abuse because they know that they have nothing and they're going to lose their kids. And I chose to stay up until the point where my son weaned himself from breastfeeding because I didn't want to lose him so soon. But as soon as his dad left, everything changed. The way he acted towards me changed. He wanted to cut his hair because he's seen his dad cut his hair. He wanted to start going in the potty, which, I mean, that was good. But when his dad left, he used to start peeing and pooping all over my floor, having these massive tantrums. And he never, ever acted that way for his dad. He never acted that way. And so it was like all the pain is coming out of my son and it's coming out in front of me because I'm the safe one. But it's like, that's not a fun role to be in. It's hard. He acts like it's some burden, but all of them do. And it's like before they go to their dad's house, they're supposed to give me a hug and say bye. And it's like they act like it's a burden to have to like run over to me and give me a hug and say bye. And that is bullshit. That sucks. I want my kids to hug me every day, but I don't get that. And I feel like subconsciously maybe they feel like they have to pick a side. I don't know if that's the situation. I haven't looked much into any of it because it's like, I'm working at my own healing too, but a lot of times from what like major psychologists say is that subconsciously they do feel like they have to choose. And if they feel like their dads know that they love their mom, their dad's gonna disown them just like they disown the mom. So, I don't know. That could be it. But Mother's Day coming up, I am trying very hard to not feed too much into this depression. Holidays in general kind of suck when you're single anyway, so it's like it's just another day. There's not going to be breakfast in bed. There's not going to be a loving husband giving me a massage. There's not going to be a family outing. There's not going to be a barbecue. There's not going to be any of that. There's never going to be that. And what am I supposed to do? I mean, really, I've been just sitting in this house alone, staring at walls for years, and days and minutes go by, eating every meal alone. Like, I'm gonna go out tonight. I'm not happy, but I think if I spend another lonely night in this house, ruminating on everything, I'll be even worse off. So I'm going to get dressed up and go out, and we'll see what happens, you know? You never know. But yeah, that's part of what I'm thinking here. I mean, I could probably go on and on for hours about this subject, but do better, men. Do fucking better. Like, for real. Like, so many fucking beautiful women out there are like forced into being single, which we don't really want. But the bullshit is like, okay, at least if we're single, we're safe. Like, at least I know that if I'm alone, like, I'm not going to have some psycho being crazy at me at 3 in the morning because he decides to rage, you know? At least I know I'm not getting choked out. Like, when you want to argue with me about what? Like, argue about what? Because there's dishes in the sink? Because I make my kids food? Because every time they get home from school, they all want a different snack. Like, one wants some ramen, one wants some chicken noodle soup, the other one might want like pizza bites or something. So yeah, I'm like making all these different things. Not to mention that, like, yeah, maybe I want a snack too, or make a smoothie. Like, yeah, I'm using dishes. They're in the sink. That's where they go. Like, yeah, there's laundry there. There's a pile of clean laundry, and then the dirty laundry goes in the basement. It's never going to be caught up on. Like, there, that shouldn't even be a standard. Like, if you don't like that, like, maybe you should help. I don't know. I'm appalled. I'm sickened. Do better. I want a boyfriend, you know, and I want a boyfriend that is completely nothing to do with a family life. I just am kind of off put by all of that anymore. It's like, my kids go with their dads. I want a boyfriend for me. I want somebody who wants to cuddle with me, fuck me, eat some food with me, snuggle, maybe have a sleepover here and there, maybe take me out to the bar, like, go on nature walks, kisses, hold hands. Like, I want a boyfriend to love me and not to, like, rope me into whatever this patriarchy is trying to say about, like, family life and shit. I don't know. Like, this shit is just ridiculous. But I am so sick of being single. But then the ones that are messaging me trying to fuck, like, I don't really like them that much. So, like, I don't. Like, I'm not desperate. I really, really, really want to be with. There's a couple I do like, but they are farther away, and I'm trying to work my manifesting with that. But I can't just do it with just anyone, you know? Like, yeah, I'll meet new people. I'll go out. I'll go out and meet new people. But if I'm not totally feeling that person, I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to take chances with something that's not worth it. So here I am. Here I am again. Gonna be Mother's Day tomorrow. So I don't know if anybody can resonate with this. I'm truly sorry, and I am truly sorry that that's the cards you've been dealt. And I hope that one day somebody appreciates you. I hope one day the guys I have kids with will realize that, you know, they've been treating a pretty amazing girl real bad, and it's super unnecessary. It's like, can't you just be nice? Can't you just be helpful? Okay. See ya.